Hi, and welcome to the February 20th edition of our show. Today we have an exclusive interview with Dr. Christopher LaRocca of LaRocca Chiropractic. But first, let's take a look at some video footage from stories we brought to you earlier this week. One person was transported to an area hospital yesterday after two vehicles collided at the intersection of Spring Hill Drive and Linden Drive. The accident caused one vehicle to flip onto its roof and come to rest in the center lane of Spring Hill Drive. On Tuesday, a three-vehicle accident occurred on US 41 in front of the Big Tree Mobile Home Park, sending two patients to local hospitals with unknown injuries. On Saturday, four people were sent to area trauma centers after their SUV was run off the road by a delivery truck. Two children were airlifted to St. Joseph's Hospital in Tampa. A 7-year-old girl remains hospitalized after doctors performed surgery to repair internal injuries she received in the crash. The driver, Joanna Machnicki, suffered a broken wrist and internal bleeding and is recovering at Bayonet Point Hospital. An adult passenger and a 12-year-old boy were not seriously injured. Last Thursday, authorities raided a Spring Hill home located on Elgin Boulevard after reports that a meth lab was at that location. 43-year-old James Francis Heck is charged with numerous felonies, including trafficking in methamphetamine. The DEA assisted in the investigation, according to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor. Welcome back. We're here with Chris LaRocca of LaRocca Chiropractic. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Doing good today. How are we doing?
Good, good. Now tell us a little bit about your business here. And you're here in Hernando County, two places, right?
Two locations in Hernando County. I have one in Brooksville, right in downtown, underneath the radio station at WWJB.
Right.
And then I have a smaller office inside Progress Health and Fitness on US 19, right next to the Staples building.
Great, fantastic. And so you're bouncing back and forth to both of these places?
Every day, back and forth.
Great, fantastic. How long have you been in business here?
I've been in business now. We're going to be going on 2 years in March on my own.
2 years. Things going great for you?
So far, so good. Can't complain.
Great. Now, I came over and visited you last week. Took some video while you were doing some adjustments on a few people.
Yes.
And, you know, tell us a little bit. Well, first of all, why would someone come to see you? What kind of, would it be injuries, accidents? What kind of things would bring someone to your office?
Most of my patients that I see are either have an acute injury from a sporting event or a car accident, or they just have a chronic injury that they've been suffering with for years, and they've gone to many different doctors, but they've just never healed up that injury, and they come to seek out my care.
Is it usually a combination of muscular and skeletal issues?
It's both. You know, when you look at chiropractic, you want to take care of the joint as well as the muscle.
Right, okay. So let's say someone has a lower back pain. Give us an example of what maybe something you would do to help with that. How would you assess that, first of all, to see if it's not something more serious that needs a surgery or something? Or
all the patients, then they come into the office, we go through an extensive examination, orthopedic consult, examination, all that fun stuff, to see where we're going with that patient. After we figure that all out, then we just go out for some diagnostic studies, some x-rays to look at bone structure and density. After there, we decide what is wrong with the patient, how we're going to treat it, and we come up with a care plan. Everybody's different because of age, size, you know, how physically fit they are or unfit they are. So it depends on that type of person.
So you're talking about it doesn't matter how old you are, anybody can come to the chiropractor, right?
Anybody can come to the chiropractor. Mostly we see patients in between 30 to 55 of age. I really like to focus on treating children. I treat children anywhere from 6 weeks old on up. It's very important and very crucial to have them checked out really quick. It's just like going to a dentist at a young age. We want to make sure they have great spinal health as they get older.
Very interesting, because when we were at his office, we noticed that you had a small child. What was he, maybe 2?
2 years old.
2 years old. And he was doing adjustments on the child. Tell us a little bit about that, and we're going to show some video as well. How you were treating him, and what that treatment was for.
The little child who was in my office had been in a motor vehicle accident with his parents. So at that age, they really can't communicate if they're in pain or not. My main goal is knowing that they were in a whiplash kind of accident is just to monitor him, make sure that he's got proper spinal health. So I treat him about once every 2 weeks. I use a technique called the activator. It's a light force adjustment instrument. So the way I would adjust you or somebody else with manual technique, the old cracking and popping, I don't do that to young children like that. It's more of a passive, gentle kind of adjustment.
So there's a little gadget, I don't know what it's called, that you were using on his back and up towards his neck. What was that device called?
That's called the activator. It's a manual device, or it's a mechanical device that we use that has a high velocity, low amplitude. So it's all about speed instead of that big punch. It's something nice and pinpoint sharp.
So, and you mentioned, or while I was there, that this sometimes will help with the gastric problems that children have. And
I treat a lot of children with colic. What happens is, you know, going through that birthing process is a traumatic, one of the most traumatic issues that can go on a child's spine. So what we're able to do is look for any of the fixations. So we're not curing the colic. What we're doing is allowing the joint to move properly. When you allow the joint to move properly, muscles can move properly, and then this way you can have the whole digestion process go out a lot smoother, and you know, they're not getting backed up, so to say.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about maybe shoulder injuries, neck injuries, things like that. You told me that the slightest thing can throw your whole body out of adjustment. Minor, maybe just leaning or favoring one side or the other. People don't realize this, do they?
No, there's a lot of things in our life cause us, and this is what I mean when I have chronic pain patients, they come in here, they don't know what caused it. So I have to be a detective and find out what is their career, what are they doing in life. And a lot of times, you know, like I treated multiple police officers, and they say, when is this pain going to go away? I said, the day that you retire. You know, they're wearing a bulletproof vest, a 30-pound gun belt. They're sitting in their car in this position, leaned over. So they're developing muscular imbalances over time, and they're not thinking about, hey, listen, I sit here 8 hours a day, I need to stretch out the opposite direction. And then after a while, 2-3 years down the road, what seems to be discomfort now turns into pain, and that's when they seek out my help.
And so this isn't something, you can't come in and just do one adjustment, say I'm done, come back next month. You don't recommend that, right?
No, unfortunately, I would love to be that guy that can just do one adjustment and get rid of the pain. Normally what happens with a lot of my patients, we treat them with a care plan, get them out of that acute pain. Then the goal is to find out what's going to keep them from that pain coming back. I treat some of my patients once a week, some I treat once every 3 months. It really depends on the patient.
So, doctor, you treat with other devices, too. There's other things you use besides just manual physical adjustments, right?
Yes. In our office, we have cold laser therapy, ultrasound, stim. What we like to do is treat in a different variety of ways. I'm a big fan right now of the cold laser therapy. Cold laser therapy gets into the cellular level, all the damaged cells. It helps to repair them. It almost speeds up the process. In this day and age, everybody wants to get quicker, get pain relief quicker and faster, and this product works tremendously with my patients.
Fantastic. We got some video of that too. And there was another device that you use besides the cold laser. Is there something?
We have the ultrasound. Ultrasound is like a microcurrent massage that I use with a lot of my athletes that come in with tennis elbow or plantar fasciitis. It helps to get in there, break up that scar tissue adhesions, brings blood flow to the area to help heal that stuff.
Okay. Now you speak about sports, people in sports. You do some other stuff in the community too, don't you? Yeah,
I am the team doctor for Nature Coast football. On Friday nights, you'll see me walking the sidelines, taking care of all the boo-boos and owies. And then come wrestling season, I'm the team doctor for Springstead wrestling team. It's fun. I'm able to give back to the community. When I was in high school, we had a lot of doctors that gave to us. So I like to be able to take care of those athletes, especially some of them that don't have the money to get taken care of. I want to be able to make sure that they're being treated right.
Well, Doctor, sounds like you're doing a lot for the community, a lot for people who need your help.
All right, thank you so much.
Great, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, that's our show. Have a great week.